You're checking out Power99.com.
Don't stop.
Yeah, man. Listen, you got some joints on here. They're going to be classic joints. Your catalog is just crazy. Did you see that Billboard list that came out yesterday?
Yes, I actually did.
Yeah, the top 10 rappers all time.
I mean, I'm cool with it. Listen, you can have your top 10, top 50. If Tupac is not in there, I have a problem with that. And that's just me
A
personally.
lot of people felt like that.
I mean, look, man, he brought more to the game than just rapping and lyrics. He brought life. He changed lives. He was a revolutionary person. He was he was an advocate. Like, he just stood for a lot of things. So I just feel like, how you not gonna respect that? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I get it, but at the same time, that's what happens when you have people running lists that don't know real music and our culture. They get to who they favorites was.
Right.
And I mean, I don't care what your list is, man. You got to have Tupac on the list. It don't work. It don't work like that.
Exactly.
That's like if you make a top 10 Philly rappers list, how Benny Siegel ain't gonna be on there?
Right.
He put work in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's out of respect.
And you make a good point. He was more than music. He was a leader in the culture.
Right.
We talked about this briefly when you called the morning show last week, but there's a lot of growth, personal growth that I see from you. You're talking a lot more about the issues that matter to the streets, the things that matter to people. Where did that come from? Where do you see that shift?
When I got locked up in L.A. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That'll wake some things up.
I was sitting in that cell. I was like, man. I mean, just long story short, I got in a situation where I got incarcerated in L.A. while I was on tour with Wiz Khalifa.
Right.
Something happened in front of my tour bus I had nothing to do with. I wasn't there. And they ended up following me all the way from the Bay to L.A., where they actually took me and my employees off the bus and locked me up.
Yeah.
And everybody that was on the tour, from artists like Rich Homie Quan to DJ Drama to Ty Dolla to Wiz Khalifa himself, was like, hold on, he wasn't there. He left that night. And that was the first night I ever left. And they locked me up, locked my team up, and they gave us $1 million bonds, and I didn't understand that. You know what I mean? So now I got $6 million worth of bonds, and I'm in L.A., and I'm in the county. You already know what that's about. Ain't no games being played. So, I'm in there, and I'm thinking I'm in there for an assault rifle, but they actually tried to charge me with murder. So
what?
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
Hadn't I had the finances or the resources to fight it, I'd probably still be in there right now.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy because it was like my first unselfish moment. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I can't lead them in the county because it's just like they ain't cut from the same cloth that I'm cut from. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. This is what I do. So I had to actually stay there to make sure they were straight. So the whole time I sat in there with them, and actually they had somebody to come get me out within the first 30 minutes I was there. And it was like, you should get out.
You got that bread, Jeezy.
No, not even that. It was just like, you the brand, you can't be sitting in here. I'm just like, yo, man, these my people, though. I can't leave them in the county jail. Like, you know what I mean?
And I read that you bailed your people out.
Yeah, I stayed with them. I stayed with them every day.
You're a real dude.
And I mean, for the most part, though, I was just, really upset at the fact that, as hard as I work, and I was at my job, at my place of business, and I was on tour, and it was the last day of the tour, and we was going to celebrate, and you come take me on my bus in front of the tour, in front of fans and people, and lock me up. If they'll do that to me, they'll do that to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in there, I told my man, I was like, yo, when I get out, man, I'm going hard. And I ain't holding back. Because, a lot of times as artists, we hold back because we don't want to get too political or too caught up in what's going on, because they hold you to that. But those 6-7 days in there, I was getting, once you in there, you got to put on somebody else's boxes, and you know what I'm saying? And then, you start eating bologna sandwiches. I don't even eat beef or pork.
You can't be showering like you
know
want
what I'm saying?
to.
So like after a couple of days, you're like, damn. You know what I mean? So for me, I was just mad. I just felt like, and then I looked around, I saw everybody that was in there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was really giving me love, you know what I'm saying? But what kind of made me think about it the most is like all the people that's probably in there. And when you think about jail, you think about people in there, they did something wrong.
Yeah.
What if they didn't know? They just ain't got the money to fight it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or the voice to speak on it. So that's where the frustration came from. And when I walked out, I was like, I'm going to bring church to these streets. And that's what I kept thinking. And then when I was writing my lyrics, I normally don't write. But my man told me, he's like, you should write a diary. I'm like, nah, I don't got time for that. So I started actually writing my songs like a diary. You know what I'm saying? And then putting it in a song form. And that's why you hear all the different things in the music, from the politically correct to this, because those are my true thoughts. And I wasn't writing them like a song. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where it came from.
I like it though, because I feel like for a long time we've felt disengaged as a community because we feel like the laws and people aren't out here protecting us. So it's good that we have leaders like you that can talk about things that really matter, and I feel like it'll engage people more in the community and things like that.
I mean, but that ain't even, I just feel like, as a man, as a black man especially, like, you got a voice, you got to say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah.
You can't just do things just to, to get people's money or to get them to ride with you, come to your concerts. Like, at some point, you got to be real with yourself. So for me, it was just like, look, man, this is how I feel. I don't care who don't like it, who, you know what I mean? I'm still me. I'm still about that life and all that. But at the same time, I'm a taxpayer. I got kids. I got real situations going on.
You're a grown man.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, y'all don't see this? It's just like when I wrote The Recession, it's like a lot of people didn't know what a recession was. I didn't want to call my album a drought. So I'm like, let me put them on to game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when The Recession came out, I went through the hood and everybody's like, yo, what the hell is this big word you name your album? Because nobody knew what recession meant. You feel me? And then they're like, no, and why the hell would you say your president is black? He's not going to win. I'm like, yo, he going to win. Trust me. And when he won, it just open people's eyes. They're like, whoa.
We got power.
Yeah, and you forward thinking now. You see what I'm saying? You ain't just rapping or talking about what you drunk last night. You know what I'm saying? In the club, how many bottles you pop. You know what I mean? Because, we do that, true enough, but it's when the club is over and you go home, you get up in the next morning, it's back to life.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, nah, man, I'm going to put them up on game. So if you ever heard my music from Trap or Die to this, I'll just put you up on the game that I learned in the street. So what my big homies gave me.
Right.
And that was the game to help me, like, dodge a lot of obstacles that I could have got caught up in. Because a lot of times, you're talking to people that got 20, 30 years, they caught up. But I was always taught a wise man learns from somebody else's mistakes and not his own. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to learn from anything that I see that happen around me, but I'm going to go put it in the music. So hopefully that it'll keep somebody else from going through the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There's a lot of God imagery, like the track, cover of the album, you coming out the church.
Right.
Even like the first single, God, there was a cross with the black cat.
Right.
You got the praying hands. Did you like rekindle your relationship with God, or what's that about?
No, I always been there with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just never wasn't asked that, and that's what always kept me balanced. But if you look at the cover, I'm actually coming out of the church. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to the streets to give them the game that I got. You know what I mean? So I'm not Creflo Dollar. I'm saying, hey, man,
you don't want that.
Right. You want that $80 million jet. I don't know how he rocking. But for me, it's more like, look, man, this is what I learned. And I'm going to come out here in the streets and I'm going to tell y'all, what I got. And then you can take it from there. Because in church, they talk about everything from the good, the bad, to the ugly. But at the same time, just like, that's what really goes on in the street. And some of our music is street religion. Like, we talk about Pac not making the list. Pac was some people's religion, like, in life and how they lived and the codes that they lived and died by. And I feel like for me, being a cat that's done this for 10 years, I gotta pick up my big homie stripes now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let the cats know what's going on, because it's like, who else gonna give him the game? I made it through the streets.
Yeah.
I dodged that. You know what I'm saying? I got in this industry. I did well for myself. I did all right for a villain.
You doing good. You doing good. You still here 10 years later.
Right. So it's like, what's the next phase? And it's like, you got to keep the game going back if you want these cats to come up and keep going. Because it's like, if you ain't have cats like Jay that I was getting game from here and there, like, then I wouldn't have known how to play the industry, because I came in the industry thugging.
Yeah, we remember TM 101. We was turned with you.
I might run up in the record label with a baseball bat, like, look, man, listen, y'all better get right.
With the slugger.
Right. But now, it's different because they respect me as a businessman, so it's just a conversation. It's like, hey, look, listen, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what we gonna do, this is what we ain't gonna do. And they understand. Mm-hmm. But I learned that from being around Jay.
Right.
Because he's the best one to be like, yo, you can't go up in the room and threaten these people.
Right. They go get the cops on you. You gotta relax.
And when you start learning about lawsuits and so on and so forth, that make you calm down just a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to get sued. But it's just like, you gotta know the game, because a lot of cats get in the game and they get this money early, just like football and basketball. They just give you all this money, but they don't give you no life skills. And then when you go out here and do all this crazy stuff, it's on you.
And then you broke, right? And then you're like, where that money go?
Right. So it's just like, with the game, it's like, look, man, when I was in the streets, I got a lot of game. That's what kept me from being locked up or killed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now in the music, I kind of know both sides. I've had, executive positions in other buildings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand what's going on. So I tell the next up and coming cat, like, look, man, I talk to Shy Glizzy all the time. You know what I mean? I give him all the game I can give him. Like, yo, man, listen, you doing the right thing, but, you know, watch this, watch that. And, you know, he hit me all the time. We chop it up. But I couldn't give him that game if I ain't go through it myself.
Right.
Yeah,
So one of your singles off this album, Church in These Streets, is a Sweet Life with Janelle Monáe. Love it. Tell me how you came up with the concept.
I mean, it was basically talking about, you know, just, you know, when you're on ball so hard and you just really look around and you see all the things around you that changed and they not the same, you kind of just sit back and go, damn, you know, like I really made it through a lot of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, life ain't bad after all. You know, we get up and we complain, but it's like, shit, look what you got going on. You got everything. Like, what's the problem?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes for, you know, cats like myself, it's like you want so much and you so ambitious and you go so hard that you don't take the time to sit back and look around and look at the fruits of your labor, the things that you accumulated. And that's what Sweet Life is about. It's like sometimes people don't need everything to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't need everything to live life. They just need the right things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And for me, it's just like when I'm talking to cats, they, you know, got 30, 40, they, oh man, we living through you. It's like, damn. Oh, we saw you on this show. It's like, all right. But it's just like, my life's sweet. I get to do everything I would love to do every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get to get up, make music. I get to get money. I get to move around. I get to see the world. So it's like, what's the problem?
Right. You forget about that when you in it, though, because you working so hard and you trying to get to that next level.
And I just left a detention center out here. It's the same thing. It's like, you know, I told them kids, like, look, man, don't let these folks box y'all in the corner and make y'all have to be what they want y'all to be. Prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Show them what you can do. And that's how I feel about, you know, this game and life, period, because it's like people love my music, they love what I do. I got fans that go hard and die hard for me. You know what I'm saying? I go to places, I sell out shows, and I'm still me, and there's no compromise. So when I go to sleep at night and I look in the mirror, I'm still good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is there to complain about? You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
You good. Life is good right now.
You feel me?
Life is sweet.